All right, Cora and I out here in the bee yard. February the 15th, I think it hit an actual high of 71 a little earlier. Standing in the sun, you can tell it. It's warm. It is a beautiful day here in central Arkansas. Cora and I know that we put feed on these about 4 days before the bad snow and the negative temperatures hit. So that's been 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Each hive roughly got, I don't know, I'd say a pound and a half of winter feed. It's time now to hit them with winter feed again. Go ahead and give them some DFM, which, by the way, is a great product. It's going to help you control that European foul brood, chalk brood. Chalk brood gets very prevalent on wet springs. Looks like we're set up to have a wet spring. I think it's going to go ahead and break. We've got red maples are blooming in town. The elm trees are in full bloom. Looks to me like most all these other trees are going to try and follow suit. So who knows, fall, spring, or winter's over, we don't know, but the bees are very active, and I expect to see that they have started brooding up since the pollen has started coming in. Not only what we were feeding them with the Ultra Bee Dry, but also with what they are now getting naturally. So let's take a look in one of these hives and just kind of see where we're at, see what we got going on. Cora has opted to run the camera for me, so that's much appreciated. Now these bees have gone through their winter feed, the pro winter that I had put on them. Now does that mean that there's extra mouths in here that have helped them, or they're that low on winter stores? Let's just open them up and take a look and find out, and then we'll give them another round of feed. Bees look healthy. Good packed box of bees. No hive beetles that I saw run, so, and it's plenty active for them. I'd be okay with it if they're all dead. Hive looks real good and clean. At first glance, propolis is in play. You know, these bees, what I'm doing there is if there is any beetles underneath that trap, I'm going to crush them. We're going to pull a frame or two, and I have messed around and left my bucket buddy, therefore left my frame perch elsewhere. So Cora and I, we've got bees wall to wall between every frame. That's a great sign. We'll see how they're, a couple things we can check here while we're here. How much honey they've got left in the box. I can tell that's a frame of honey. And they are setting it. I can tell the next one is basically all honey. Make a little room here to work this box. You know, the queen, now here you've got pollen, some open cells of uncapped honey, some open cells that are empty, so that they've been into that one, feeding it pretty heavy. We'll keep easing along here till we find what I expect to be some, oh yeah, some brood. So here's brood. and I see some bees already emerging. What I'm checking for really today, just by making this brief inspection, here's more brood. You got bees emerging. That means she probably started laying up bees in January, pre-cold. I can tell you right now, and what we might do is go another frame and then split this box and just raise it up, and I'll show y'all. It looks like they're moved down into the bottom box already, that's great. That means that many more bees. Here's another frame of brood. Honey still in the corners. They put some pollen in around that brood. Bees look great. They ate that pro winter, and that's good. I'd rather know that they ate it than to have uncapped a bunch of honey recently to feed all this brood. But remember this, they are going to do that. The more of these mouths that keep popping out of these cells, the more of these winter stores that they're going to burn through. Although you see the presence of honey up above it, you got a lot of brood that are coming on. They're hatching. I see some new wet bees, some gray bees. You can't really tell it. I'll pull another frame and have Cora look down in the box, and you can tell the population of bees that's scattered all the way down into that deep hive body. Now we're getting over here into the more honey, less brood. So these bees have done great with their stores. That next frame is all honey. Cora, can you kind of look down? You can look down there. Now, every frame that I've looked at, as I've pulled a frame below, it has that many bees on them. So what I'm trying to get at is the box below now is probably got her in it, and she is laying up deep frames. The equivalent. And okay, well, what is all that going to end up meaning? It's going to mean that these bees are going to start producing, if they haven't already, they're going to start producing a lot of drone brood as well as worker bees. And when that happens, the mouths double, triple, and there was two beetles, Cora, hiding right at the edge. But they're both two dead beetles now.
Do you have any in the trap?
I see 1, 2 on this end.
Just 2?
Yep,
3,
2, maybe
4?
3, maybe 4.
There's 4, I think.
Now I popped that out because we're going to pop this box, and I don't want that oil to run out and run all over the bees. Okay, so get these girls calmed down a little. I could give them that DFM, and that'd calm them right down. But they're in pretty good shape. It's warm. They love you. Everything's good. All right. Here's what we got. So all of these are occupied with bees. I see bee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half a frame, and bees cleaning the 9th frame in preparation for that queen. And I'll bet you, since we didn't run across her here with these brood frames, or with these brood in the mediums, I'm going to say that she is down here in these deep frame. So time reasons, we're going to move to another one and another one. Core and I are going to feed a lot tonight. There's no drone brood been appropriated between boxes yet. So bees are actually right exactly where they should be this time of year. We're not going to disturb the program down in the deep. We're going to put that right back together. We're going to hit them with the DFM. Put our beetle trap back in. So, as I said, this is a strong microbial. This is a honeybee support method. This is the health of the colony. I like it right in there where I know that brood was at. That's where those bees are spending the quantity of their time in mass. They will eat this. It's a probiotic. You know, we take vitamins for different reasons. So just think of it as giving your bees something that they've been missing, and it'll help clean them up on their gut. Healthier bee. It doesn't do anything to stimulate brooding. It simply is going to do more for the health of the colony. There's a way lot more to what DFM does than what I'm telling you. Look it up online, and I think you'll be amazed at the benefits that it has. Corey, you still with me?
Yep.
There again, we saw that they had plenty of honey, but I know for a fact during that super cold, they ate a pound of this Pro Winter. Super easy to feed. I want them to eat this. I want them to build those new bees up with bee bread and honey. And those foragers come in from working. Instead of them eating honey as well, they'll eat this Pro Winter. Mash a little of that down right there into that hole. That's a great looking colony of bees. Building up fast, building up to where they should be. Nowhere near threatening of starvation. And a little extra insurance policy won't hurt. Not concerned with hive beetles getting into the feed. So we'll call that one a real good box of bees. We'll give that one an A+. Of course, what happened to my other brick? Am I stepping on it somewhere? All right. Let's just move right here to the middle one. Now, when Corey and I first walked out here,
Not much activity.
this box has got weight on it. There's a stinking hive beetle come out the front door. Did you see that, Corey?
No.
Come out the front door. I see 2 dead bees. Right there is their winter feed that they're still working on. So they still got plenty of it. All right, I didn't like the way that looked from the outside, and I didn't like the way that those bees just flew off when I cracked that lid. This may very well be a loss. Here's the brood, and right there's the queen. And they are down to next to nothing. So what do you say we got going on? Well, robbing hasn't been prevalent. I do feel like that's a possibility with what you were looking at down there. As you can tell, we've got a queen, and we've got a little old patch of brood, and it does not look like it's in very great shape. And our bee numbers fell way off. And they absolutely are living on what we've given them. There's a little dab of honey. Empty,
there's some.
empty comb. You know, have they contracted something? I can still smell the, here's honey. Now, not a lot of honey. Not a lot of honey at all. But not a lot of bees. So, you know, what are we talking about here? You know, what do you know, here's that one obviously had more beetles in it. Had a little bit desperation of beetles. Higher beetle count. You know, was winter hard on them? I don't think so. I think if winter was hard on them, it'd have froze that little old batch of bees. The bees that are here don't have mites on them. Right here's yet another whole frame of honey. But I can assure you there's not enough bees in this box to consume not even this frame of honey. And we'll move it in there closer to them. I don't think it's going to make a much difference. And bottom box clean with the exception of the center frame, and it does have bees on it. There might be 1,000, 1,500 bees with that queen, but let's go back to that frame with the queen core.
Yeah.
And you help me look, and let's see, lay eyes on those bees a little better and just see if they have mites on them. You know, did they build a mite load back after the treatment? I don't know.
Is she still on this one?
If she is, she's on your side. It looks like she's jumped frame on us. All right. I got real good sunlight. And although mites are hard to see, if it was a mite load, every bee right here should be covered with a mite.
Would you be able to see it?
Yes, I think I would. I don't see any open larvae, and I don't see eggs. So maybe she's living poorly enough that she's not laying. But I see no mites. You know, if in reality, you know, they've got it. They've got everything they're supposed to have to be a colony, but they do not have the numbers. So, you know, do you blame it on the queen? Do you blame it on mites, beetles? Then they don't have a beetle load.
There's one eating it. It looks like on the back.
Did I move her with this frame? Or did she? I bet she dropped down into that cluster of bees in the deep box. I am not seeing mites on the comb, on the bees. And I'm just guessing that she's moved right down. There's a pretty good collection of bees on that center frame that we saw. All right, here's what I want to do. I want to turn that entrance reducer to the very smallest hole for now. They've got emergency feed. I moved honey closer to them. They don't have a beetle issue. We're going to put that back and keep it that way, we hope.
You want me to move this
We're going
entrance?
to DFM them. God, I don't have a small opening reducer on this. See, there's no numbers of dead bees down here on the board. She is living with what has wintered with her, and she has not made enough bees to count. So we're going to see if she's going to get fired up again. And if she is, she's going to have to really get with it. All right, let's dust them with a little DFM and move on. I knew when Corey and I walked down here that the activity was way insufficient. At the front, as of yet, I don't think they're being robbed. They could be very easily.
I haven't seen anything going in and out.
Which was kind of your telltale sign that we had a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it happens. Gotta get this freshened up a little for them.
Are you giving them any more?
Hmm?
Are you going to give them any more?
No, they've got plenty to survive on. I do think I probably should give them some liquid. You guys have to wait today. And we'll have to wait today. This box has a large colony of bees in it. They have gone through their winter feed. What do you think?
They got enough bees.
Definitely got bees. You know, the question that I'm going to get is, can you give them brood? Can you give brood from this hive to that hive? You can. Then it, you know, but is there enough bees in that box to sustain the temperature to hatch the brood, which may be why that brood that's in there looks so sunken and cruddy. Could be that they have a disease, but the box doesn't show signs of being a nasty habitat. It was relatively dry, free of beetles that we could tell. Didn't see any of the mites. Could be mites, didn't see them. These bees, same scenario as the front box that we checked. Plenty of bees, probably have plenty of honey. Overwintered honey, they've walked on that a lot. That's cappings walked into the honey pool and turns it dark. People think it's going to be dark honey as a result of that. It may temper it, but a lot of times if you scratch that off and spun it, it'll still be a amber or clear honey. That has really nothing to do with the honey color. All right, we're going to DFM them. I got bees all the way across. We're going to hit them with DFM. We're going to go ahead and give them some more emergency feed because we've got it and we can, and we're not out of the woods yet on winter, I don't think. So we'll keep them fed, keep them healthy, so that we don't run into any more of these boxes. It looks like the one there in the middle. You know, DFM's been tested by a lot of really good beekeepers. Been out on the market for several years. We've sold it at the store for many years. I use it myself. Rural Route Farms uses it. When you got a product that you see a result,
Are you feeding these things?
just stick with it. I am going to feed them. Well, you need to help me to remember to get these girls a jar of syrup, a jar of Pro Sweet. Maybe hit them with a little amino, little brood boost, and see if we can get it turned. I don't know. They just don't have the numbers that we need. Could end up being a loss even though everything's there. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you just don't know. You just can't get the whole story. That's kind of the easy cheating way to give them a little emergency feed. Keep them out of that honey. All right, since Cora was gracious enough to do the filming, she said her bees could possibly need a little extra groceries. You saw a quick pic on the Facebook where we, of course, put some fondant on these bees. And they had a large colony. That was right before the bad weather. And they have eaten it. And I'm talking about they went through that, didn't they?
Yep.
Oh, and they're a little grumpy. You might want to stand still. So we gotta get some feed back on these girls. They just kind of look light. Like maybe their mama hadn't started cranking out some bees yet.
Are we gonna feed them some?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to feed them. They look low in groceries. Low in groceries.
Oh yeah.
I would say you feeding them 2 weeks ago was quite possibly the best thing we could have done for them. Because they are on that honey right there. See that shining right there? Can you get a picture of that? See this shining right in here below them? That's uncapped honey. What are you pointing at?
More.
Okay.
You can see that better on the camera.
Alright, she got a little brood right there. Right there she is.
Don't point to her.
Don't? Okay.
No, you want to.
Oh, I thought you didn't want me to, so you could.
That way they can find.
Alright, well now. There she is. See her right here? Okay. And she got a little old dab of brood started up there and got some good old green, nasty pollen there. The frame across from her, I'm looking in, I can see brood on it. So we're not going to disturb this anymore, and we're going to put feed on them and leave them alone.
Is that nectar or honey?
And that's a little bit of open cell pollen that come out of there, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean pollen.
Is it nectar?
Honey.
Pretty liquid.
It is pretty liquidy. Could have been honey they were cutting with water too. To mix and make bee bread.
Make what?
Bee bread.
Hmm.
You know, it really wouldn't hurt if we were to get these bees some syrup. There's several beetles in that trap.
Oh yeah. Are we also going to put some DFM on them?
We are. We're going to DFM them. Make sure they stay healthy. She'll come on. Everything's good. The brood day.
Has she just not started laying yet?
She just hadn't built up. It started to build up. Instead of making a mess, let's do this.
Oh, since we don't have an inner lid? Is that why
No
you're
inner
doing that?
lid. We're not concerned with them building any wax up here in the void.
They eat this, right?
Yes, they consume it.
That one's covered.
Yep. Bet her sisters will take care of that deal. Almost like it made them mad, huh?
Yeah.
Are you filming their anger?
Yeah. Started roaring.
I'm gonna say that these bees, you know, some bees, it's just like households. We got bees that just really overachieve at winter. You got bees that cut back too far. Queens almost stop laying and just run on the bees that they've got. And then they just marginally, you know, I have no doubt this box will be fine. They'll make it. But they sure do worry me when they run this small and weak. And they survive -5 degrees. 2 mornings of it. Woo! That's some rough smoke right there for.
Yeah.
All right. How's this next one look at the entrance?
There's a few bees. Well, now there's more.
That banging around got their attention?
Yep, they're going in.
Let's see what they've done with their groceries. Gone. Groceries gone. You know, I don't believe in any way, shape, form, or fashion that we're too early coming back to put more of this on them.
Yeah.
All right, can you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 frames of bees? And they have put a hurting on their honey supplies. There come a bee with pollen. Oh yeah, they have already licked that one clean. That is why you emergency feed bees. All these bees, she's brooding up, making more mouths to feed, and there ain't enough honey in these hives to feed them. If you don't get this feed on them, give them about 2 weeks and double or triple in size, you got a whole bottom board filled with dead bees. Starvation. It's a real thing, and it's a real problem. February and March, they're opening honey on this one. So they have successfully moved over. I see, looks like we got a colony, partial colony down in the deep box working as well. So we'll hit them with their emergency feed. We just got to keep them fed until spring springs and the nectar flows.
Is there a certain amount people need to put there? How much do you feel?
Well, at any one given dose, a tablespoon.
Can they put too much?
I don't know that you could over medicate them. I think you could put enough in here that it would, it's not considered a feed. The medication is in, I would think, a powdered sugar base to get them inspired to eat it. I figure it's like anything else. I think you could probably eat way too many vitamins and it become an issue. So I'm going to answer you as yes, you could. But it sure is a great a great product.
How much feed do you recommend putting?
Like this for a winter,
Yeah.
I try to shoot for about a pound. I think you could really load up a lot more than that if you wanted to save yourself from having to come back to the bees. They ate more than what you see me put on them right now. They've eaten more than that in these 3 weeks since I was out here last. But that probably kept them, well, I know it did, it kept them out of the majority of their honey stores.
Will they eat this before their honey?
The field bees, I know, are really working on this stuff rather than coming back and eating, uncapping honey. That honey is going to be used soon for all this brood that they've got built up in here. Are you panicked by your bees at all? And the old and L, I think those bees have, I don't know if that little cluster of bees, you know, you always kind of wonder what the build-up's going to be like. It's all based on that queen. There's a good old wood roach wintering with them. We're about messed around getting late in the day now.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting to all be at home and they ain't moving much. You know, till we crack the lid open. Then they could become extremely angry. As long as they get angry with you, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I can still see capped honey.
With the beetle trap.
Look at them, how thick they are. You just like know how much good we've done on killing.
Too.
Were they under there?
Yeah.
Are they alive?
They are. They're frozen.
Well, I hope they're frozen. I guess they did. I guess they froze. They sure can't take that cold. Oh, that little jar didn't make them. Look at them hit that glove.
Mm-hmm.
What we got? Woo! Would you say we cleaned up a mess of beetles out of this one?
Yeah.
Black beetle trap and bait oil. Something great to keep these traps in over winter. They keep working. That looks like mostly all honey.
Oh.
Well, you didn't tell me I'd broke my inner cover. Look here.
It's full. I think some busted on the other
They
side.
still got a lot of honey.
See?
So, yeah. They'll run over and clean that up.
Will you feed them?
I don't think they require that I do as much as they've got in here. And they're set up right there with it. So I think these are just real good at minding their store. Are you watching where you filming there?
Yep.
Okay. You know, give them a little round of feed just for giggles and something to eat.
Sure.
I don't have a lot left in this bucket, so but I know they got plenty of honey, so.
Do you just put it down there that way they can find it faster?
Yep, I put it right like that so they can find it. That'll give them a little something to snack on. Good girls, y'all. Y'all have held on to what y'all have wintered with and used it sparingly, apparently. All right, that's 6 hives that Cora and I have went through. We've got one that we, got on the chart for maybe it will, maybe it won't. We see a couple small colonies. Queen's there, brood's there. Brood looks healthy, bees look healthy. They look like winter bees. We've got some that are far advanced. Happens every year. You got colonies that are overachievers. You got colonies that are just riding the border, and you got some colonies that are just going to be on that touch and go. Are we going to make it till spring? Do all you can to keep them fed, keep them taken care of, and until we see you again, roll that beautiful bee footage. Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.